Alright guys, welcome back. You know who it is already. I'm Dobby. This is...
One. 3-point champ.
Pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer!
The greatest of all time.
I don't think I've ever actually seen him on the court, but he do who?
They put me in Space Jam 3.
What's your name? Let him know.
Michael Jordan.
No, it's not Michael Jordan.
Alright.
You know who you could be? Lil Mickey.
Barry McCockiner.
He is Barry McCockiner. And this is... Taking the... Just kidding, it's As the Icebreaker.
Yeah, way better.
So, let's just bury the lead here to get it started off. Obviously, we haven't really discussed it, or let anybody really know about it, but we decided that part ways with taking the charge. Simply because we had some things that came up in addition to, we didn't really start at the beginning of the NBA season.
Right.
It was kind of a mess, it wasn't doing well overall with our, feedback and stuff like that.
And one of the hosts is incapable of doing the things he's supposed to do.
And his name is?
Dobby.
What?
That's just a little joke.
F*** you, Alan.
Oh. Yeah, it is, but it is you, Alan, though.
But
I hate that, Alan.
But anyways, we just decided on, at least for the remainder of the season, we were going to scrap the show. But because the NBA playoffs are currently going on and we're super, super invested in it, watching pretty much all the games between all of us, this is our special As the Ice Breaks NBA episode. We're going to go over a couple of things that are going on in the NBA. Some people are getting popcorn thrown at their heads. Some people are getting water bottles tossed at them.
Some people are getting racist terms thrown at them on social media sites and their family.
We'll talk about that in a second. And a Frenchman wins the 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award.
But more important than that, whatever the hell Nikola Jokic is, he took it home. I heard everybody saying, oh, chef this, chef that, it's 30, baby. He was never the MVP. It was always Jokic. Stop.
He was the MVP until he missed.
Gosh.
Until he missed the playoffs. He was the MVP.
No, he wasn't.
Nobody was doing a current. Anyways, this is not the point of the episode to debate the MVP.
Jokic is go right now.
We got 3 questions for each other. Christian, go ahead and start it off. You have questions for me. I got questions for you. Let's answer them right now on this special edition of Inside the Pylon.
Inside the Pylon? You idiot. We're not even going to cut that. We're going to keep that in just so people remember how much of a dumb idiot he is. You donut!
Is there anything today that I ate that wasn't microwaved? The salad. You fucking donut. Of course you don't put a fucking salad.
Then it wasn't he.
This show hasn't been aired for 4 or 5 weeks now.
Wait, Inside the Pylon? Yeah, you're an idiot.
Oh my God.
Let's get started with the first question. Let's bounce. Alright, now this is always an interesting question to me. I always like to ask this when we talk about basketball. Who do you think the biggest what if of all time is?
Oh, okay. What if? There's a ton of what ifs. I love tons of people. There's Tracy McGrady, you know what I mean? There's
Sean Livingston.
There's people like Grant Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sean Livingston thing is, dude came into the NBA. He was, not undrafted or anything. He just jumped straight from high school to the NBA.
Right.
Blew out, it was one of the most gruesome. It is
People say the most gruesome, the worst injury.
Besides maybe Alex Smith in football, probably NBA-wise, most gruesome injury I've ever seen. But he didn't come back to full form, what he could have been, I guess, but he still came back, played 10 plus years.
Sean Livingston could have really been him. I'm not gonna lie.
When you really talk about it, you gotta be talking about players that real deal had their entire career cut short.
Right.
Like they didn't even get the chance, because T-Mac, Hall of Famer, he made it. Grant Hill, possible Hall of Famer. You got guys like that. People would say D Rose. I can't give it to him.
No, I can't give it to
He made a comeback and he was already an MVP caliber.
And he's
player.
still putting up. He's putting up decent.
There's 2 players that come to my mind when we talk about it. One is Chris Webber.
Okay.
And the other one is my pick and who I'm rolling with, Brandon Roy.
Really,
B-Roy. I think B-Roy could have been a legitimate top 5 shooting guard ever. He had that type of potential.
I completely agree with you. Dude was one of the men. I'm not gonna lie. The way his play style was, and he was ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? The way he played.
Greg Oden is another one that
my pick.
Greg Oden, but the only problem is we never actually ever got to see his potential, so we have no idea.
But you know what I'm saying?
Brandon Roy was an All NBA caliber.
Right.
And just out of nowhere done.
Right.
You know what I mean? This guy would have had a Hall of Fame. Guaranteed.
I guess Greg Oden was just the most tragic what if.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't get a chance at
Or
all.
actually, I would say most tragic, Jay Williams. The dude, UNC guard, came out, I think it was either early in his career or before the draft, something like that, got into a huge car accident, he's an ESPN analyst now, he's fine, but never got the chance to play, and he was him at Duke. But, you know, going back to me now, that was a great question, by the way, I just gotta say something about that. Alright, my first question, we gotta talk about it, it's been happening recently. What the f*** is going on with these NBA fans?
Bro,
Hold on. You get let back into the league, you know, after missing the whole last year, you weren't allowed back in. They finally let you back into these playoffs, and now you're acting like this? First off, to just, you know, before I even answer the question, you got Kyrie, who has been having a problem with Celtics fans, shocker, and he got water bottles thrown at him because he rubbed his foot on the logo.
Okay, hang on a second. I mean, here's the thing. Do I think it's an overreaction? Of course. I mean, I see people on Twitter talking about, Boston fans talking about they'd die for this logo. That's you on a different level, bro.
I get the fandom, but bro, it's when you take it to the point where you're throwing a water bottle.
But why are you doing that though, Kyrie? Here's the thing is with Kyrie, he's the most sensitive player in the league.
Of course, Kyrie.
So then why the f*** are you stomping on someone's logo?
I think Kyrie gets ridiculous sometimes, but bro, it doesn't warrant a water bottle get thrown at your head.
But here's the thing is though I can let, you know what I'm saying, Kyrie, you know, that's unacceptable. But the things that have been happening to Russell Westbrook, the thing that happened to Russell Westbrook.
No, I'm not even like saying that that's the worst one. No, the worst.
No. I was gonna say I know we're agreeing here.
I'm surprised that dude didn't get murdered by Russell Westbrook. Don't popcorn on his head.
No.
17, Scott Brooks without one of his main men, Russell Westbrook, who evidently tweaked his right ankle a few moments ago. And as they were leading him off the floor, and fans come out and cheer, come out and boo, yell all you want. We encourage that. This is just plain stupidity. Somebody pouring some popcorn, and any athlete, being Westbrook or whomever, they are pumped with their adrenaline. He's probably feeling bad. His team may be en route here to losing this game too. Just a stupid thing to do. I don't care.
If that's anywhere else besides an NBA game, that dude was getting bodied. End of story. Russ is in.
I'm gonna tell you,
he's a Crip.
He's not a Crip. Stop that. The only gangbanger I'm aware of in the league right now is John Wall. John Gangbanger Wall. He's slimed out.
My mom and my sis had to kick my blood out. They must have forgot I was a Crip.
Swoop. He's not no Crip though. He don't bang nothing.
I'm about to get disrespectful.
Russell Westbrook came from the suburbs, bro. Stop that. But I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Get respectful.
I'm gonna lose my mind. That's what's gonna happen. Do you want me to hurt you on camera?
Diddy
Lettuce, tomato, meats, bread, knuckle sandwich, and I'll use them to murk you. Now why don't you stay in your lane? And let me say this. Let me answer the question.
I would die for this shit, baby. I'm a different breed.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Ass man.
The worst thing that happened. Yes, and we're not gonna go without saying the shit they did to Trae Young. Trying to spit on Trae Young is fuck, especially straight out of the pandemic.
No. The Trae Young and John Morant situation completely uncalled for. Are you kidding me?
Not even uncalled for. Like
spitting dude's head. First off, that's a felony. Just like the war.
Hell yeah, felony. Especially right out that pandemic.
No.
The panoramic.
Wasn't it Utah?
The
right?
Panamera.
Who?
The Panamera that we just got out of.
Who said that?
The coronavirus Panamera.
Who calls it that?
That's what it's called. That's what health officials call it.
All right.
Anthony Fauci.
Apparently I missed this.
Obviously, where were you during the panorama?
Not wrong. But speaking on Trae Young specifically, like, you spit in dude's hair, that's a felony. Why would they even do that? By the way, it was the Grizzlies that played the Jazz, correct?
Yes.
Yeah? So it was, Utah fans, you are the most despicable fans I've ever heard of in my life.
Bro,
to call him and his mama the N-word, you're sick. There's no other way to put it. I don't like that. I don't like that.
You know, one thing. It's one thing to holy shit, to jump popcorn on somebody's head or throw water on. Unacceptable. But to go in and spit on somebody's straight out, regardless, bro, people die for that. Like, bro, people, like, that's the one thing everybody says do not do to another person, spit on them. And you did that to somebody straight out of a pandemic where, you know, you could potentially get this dude and the rest of league sick, pull another Rudy Gobert, and then you go on and you commit racism, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You do something racist because of basketball.
I don't get it, bro.
It ruins basketball for everyone.
It ruins everything. Like, you just can't control it. Like I said, bro, if the fans can't get themselves under control, ban them again, bro.
Don't let them
They
back.
weren't banned the first time, but don't let them back.
ban them this time. You know what I'm saying?
There needs to be some repercussions to this because you're acting like children.
The only dude I seen
These
get
are
in trouble.
grown-ass men.
The only dude I seen get in trouble is that dude in Boston who got picked up by the police.
You know what's funny? I heard that the dude, like, originally who they took out and arrested, like, wasn't even the person who threw the fucking bottle.
Nice.
That's just a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyways, moving on from that, fans, you guys are pieces of
Yeah, y'all are acting crazy.
Y'all need
right
to be
now.
dealt with, or y'all need to act like adults. Simple as that.
It's basketball, bro. Like, we're here to have
It's a
fun.
game, bro. Get over it.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, because I had this conversation with one of my homeboys the other day, and I think his answer was vile. Like, it was the stupidest thing I could have ever heard. Do you think people leaving their original teams to go to super teams is acceptable? And the second part of that question, do you think if they win a chip on that team, the rings count?
Okay. I gotta explain this in the best scenario I can because I always love to make jokes about this. You know what I mean? Katie's a snake, etc., etc. There's two different ways to go about it. One, you leave your team okay, it has to be a specific scenario, okay? For me to accept these super teams, you have to leave your current team and go to a new team and form a super team.
Right.
That, in my opinion, is simple. So, for example, a la LeBron, right? He couldn't get it done with the Cavs. Front office was screwing him, right? This is the first time around, by the way. Front office was screwing him, talking mean. He couldn't get it done, bro. They wouldn't surround him with any good players. So what does he do? He leaves the Cavs, takes Wade, who was already in Miami, and then grabs Boss from the Raptors.
Right.
And then they form a super team. People don't like that and they hate it, but that is far, far more acceptable to what KD did. By the way, if you also get traded into another team,
Yeah, without doubt.
because here's the thing, you can have a trade clause or whatever, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the team. Like, if you're getting enough compensation back for the team to even want to trade you away.
Now, my thing is...
So that's why it makes Harden, in a sense, acceptable to me, and that's why KD's second move to the Nets with Kyrie is okay for me, and I'm not like, oh, these rings don't count, but because no, they decided they were going to take a team with the Nets who were decent and turn them into a championship.
Right. And that's also why they brought Steve Nash in they had that head coaching change. I mean, that was a complete flip.
It was
everything on that team was
right. The that pissed me off.
Also, Joe Johnson's the GOAT. Don't let dude.
And by the way, you can't. And here's the thing: I don't discount KD's rings with the Warriors.
No, not at all.
Nobody discounts him, but nobody ever talks about him. Nobody will ever look at it because he was on a team that was up 3-1. Everybody tends to forget they were up 3-1 on the Warriors, the greatest regular season team all time, 73 wins, all that yada yada. And they were up 3-1 and lost.
Right.
Before LeBron came back.
The worst series for the Warriors of all time. Like the worst display I've ever seen from a team.
And so, but then KD the very next season takes his stuff to the team who was just in the finals, 1 game away from winning it, had already won a finals prior,
right.
And said, screw it, I'm going to give him a 4th All-Star, 2 of the top 3 best players in the league, and do that. That is not forming a super team, that's joining a super team.
So you think joining a super team is unacceptable?
Yes.
Now let me ask you this though, and this is the question.
But one thing, ring chasing, however, for old vets, 100% okay.
Oh, that's I don't. You already put in your time, bro. Like you go and you try to get as many accolades as you can before you get out of the league.
Exactly.
But my thing is
that's okay.
Let me ask you this question though, and this is why I'm on the fence about this whole thing. Isn't the point of joining the league to win?
Yeah, of course. It always is.
So, do you think that winning outvalues loyalty?
Now, are you saying it from a player's perspective?
Like in KD's situation, do you think you don't think him leaving OKC was justifiable?
It's very situational. You can't look at any two situations.
So KD's was unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
So you don't think
his first one was unacceptable?
Do you think he'd be legendary if he stayed at OKC?
I think he would legitimately be in discussion for greatest player of all time had he won a ring in OKC.
But there you go. But then see, that's a big contention. If had he had won a ring, I don't think he would have.
I think no. I think he would have because, and again, I don't want to get into that conversation because that's a whole nother
right. Yeah, but no, like just.
But specifically speaking on that situation, him and Russ were just there, and that's why it's super unacceptable because they were one game away. They had 4 opportunities to make it to the finals, and that team also had a very good chance of beating LeBron's team. Right. It would have been LeBron on KD, and it would have been Kyrie on Russ, and whoever else with their role players.
Right.
And that Thunder team was still a really good team. They had not blown it up yet. The only player they really lost over the years was James Harden.
Right, and he was the worst out of the 3 at that point in his career.
At that point in his career, correct. So when you look back on it, they were one game away. That's why his situation is unacceptable. In most cases, though, it really doesn't make a difference. You know, you see it all the time. I think it's every era. You can look at teams that were super teams.
I think the only situation I've seen, and people can disagree with me on this, and I might be blurring the lines here because he might be considered a vet. I think the only situation we've seen recently that comes close to a KD situation is Blake Griffin joining the Nets. I don't think he's old enough to be considered.
No. I'll say this. A lot of people, and I know, Big Cobb, shout out to you. You hate Blake Griffin, and I understand it. Because they were saying all these things about, he went 2 seasons without a dunk. Like, how could you go 2 seasons without a dunk? Bro, speaking, again, it has to be specific situations, and you got to look at it that way. Because Blake Griffin specifically, he was traded to this terrible team in Detroit.
But he won
garbage for years now. Bro, I can't blame him for taking plays off, taking games off.
But where I find it
his career was sentenced to death.
But it was never. Okay.
They forget too. Blake was injured a lot.
Well, that's what happens to a lot of high flyers. I mean, that's just the risk you take when you. But here's the thing: is where I don't find it acceptable for Blake Griffin is he gets traded from the Clippers to the Pistons. Right? No one wants that on them right now. No one wants to be on the Pistons,
right? Except
Jeremy Grant. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, don't nobody want to be on.
Only player that has actually thrived with the Pistons was Christian Wood.
Yeah, that's Christian Wood. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about some legend here. Yeah. But here's the thing: is that the Bad Boys era is over. The Drippers is being great. They haven't been great in 20 years.
It's not even Bad Boys. Rip Hamilton Pistons is over.
Chauncey Billups Pistons is over. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: is that where I find it unacceptable for him, and then we'll move on to the next question after I say this, is when you go from the Clippers to the Pistons, and people in Detroit are looking at you for answers. You know what I'm saying? Well, should they be looking at him?
No.
No, but who are they going to look to?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Till recently, Jeremy Grant.
Drummond.
But then here's my problem. You join a super team, which is what he did.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's old enough to be considered a vet. I think he's injured enough to be considered a vet at this point.
Yeah.
He goes to the Nets.
He's old enough.
What, he's 30?
Yeah, that's a vet. No. As soon as you make it to like after your second,
I guess. But here's the thing: is where I find it unacceptable is in you turn the notch up right through that ceiling, you dunk as you're playing the Pistons, and stare down their bench.
That's super.
No, it's hard, but that's fuck. Yeah, you're playing a villain. Now you want to be the villain of the league at 30, Blake?
I don't know, bro. But like I said, you got to take every one of those.
Leave that shit alone, bro. If you went to go ring chase, that's fine. Play your role and get the off the court. But what I'm saying is there's no reason for you to start showing your ass, dunking, and then staring down the bench like Detroit did something to you.
I still think Blake Griffin said, "Did you see what Blake Griffin did to Giannis?" Insert Twitter video of Giannis getting dunked on by Blake Griffin.
Giannis gets dunked on by everybody. Let's stop it. Giannis
by the way, at the end of this episode, we're going to be scrolling through about 10 of our favorite NBA tweets that we've seen over the course of the playoffs. Oh man, I found some bangers for you guys at the end of this video. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But moving on to the next question. Okay. This was announced within the last week. Rudy Gobert, the big Frenchman. If you have not seen Alan talk about the big Frenchman in that clip, go check out one of our last Taking Charge episodes. But he won Defensive Player of the Year. Wow. I have my thoughts and opinions, but this is a question for you. Did Rudy Gobert deserve his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year? And furthermore, I talked about this with Big Cobb. Once again, shout out to you. Is he now virtually locked for the Hall of Fame just because?
Yes.
Defensive Player 3 times.
And there's a chance they go all the way this year too, though. If he gets a ring, if he gets a ring, it's a shoe, and there's no way he's not going to the Hall of Fame.
I think the 3 alone gets in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but you get that ring on top, boom.
I've literally said this to my friend Brandon too. I said, he literally might be the worst Hall of Famer ever.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't say that. Everyone gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Everyone does.
Not everybody.
But no, a lot of people.
A lot of people do. But I mean, I don't think off the top of my head I can name it.
No, I can't think off the top of my head.
Gobert?
But do I think? Here's my thing.
He don't do nothing but be big in the post.
And I here's where
shout out to the block he had against who are they playing right now? The Clippers. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to him
Yeah.
for that nasty block he had for the game winner.
Here's my thing, bro.
Good shit.
Is Rudy Gobert is great defensively when it comes to swatting the ball away. He's always a good blocking leader. My thing is that
Rim protecting on point.
hey, rim protecting great, but Hassan Whiteside had the most blocks one season. So I'm saying like he's not like out there.
Yeah, bro. I think Simmons, Bam, and even who was the third?
Giannis could be a
It wasn't even
deep
Giannis. Who was the third option that they put up there with those two? Sounds like it was,
not off the top of my head, I can't think who it is off the top
Simmons,
of my head.
Gobert, and there was one more.
I give it to Ben Simmons first though.
I give it to 1 through 5. I'm sorry, Bam was my defensive player of the year. The way
Cards 1 through 5.
1 through 5, and just the way he clamped later season in big moments against Curry,
Yes.
Kyrie. That was my. I'm sorry, it might be biased.
Jimmy Butler's a better defensive player than Rudy Gobert.
There's endless clips of him getting sauced up by guards on the perimeter.
There's clips of Rudy Gobert getting nuts in his face, like
John. That was
eating nuts. But no, what I'm saying is no. I don't think Rudy Gobert deserves the third Defensive Player of the Year award. I don't think he deserves any Defensive Player of the Year award. Do I think Rudy Gobert is a great basketball player?
Yes.
Yes. But do I think he deserves to be hailed as his defensive machine?
Do I also believe we forgot that he's the one who ruined the NBA last year for everybody during COVID when he started grabbing all the mics? Yes.
He got Donnie sick.
He got Donnie sick.
He got Donnie fucking sick.
He got Donnie sick. Donnie hated him. Donnie was pissed.
Yeah, he would. And I get it.
And Donnie. That's a guy right there.
I like
Baby
Donnie.
Wade Jr.
Spider.
Wade with a 3-pointer. Consistent. Close.
Hey, I'm telling you, you got greatest shooting guard of all time right there if you give away the 3-pointer, but that's it. But okay, my third question, and I asked this question a lot too. Are you happy with the game, the way the game is played today? Why or why not? And what things would you keep and change?
Okay, a few things. The thing about the way the game is played, a lot of it is built around the 3-point line at this point, shooting, perimeter shooting, and stuff like that. So we've transitioned to more, I like it, personally. I think every once in a while, with every league, I'm looking at you, MLB, it's time for a change every once in a while, and it needs to progress and move. Everything does.
MLB's just getting around to celebration.
They're getting close. They are so close to getting.
Now they're just allowing people to celebrate.
These old 100-year-old baseball white men are dead, and they can finally start progressing. All of them are getting out of here. It's getting close, bro. We're starting to see change there, but as far as the NBA transition has gone, I like it. You don't see a lot of defensive matchups nowadays, but that's why there's even a higher price on people who can defend and
right.
But my favorite thing about it is big men being able to be used for more than just
being rim protectors or dunkers.
Exactly. The fact that you can have a big man space the floor nowadays, guard 1 through 5 like Bam can, and
you got a guy like Shaq out there draining threes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's such a good thing for the league because it just shows how athletic we are nowadays and how many different things that we've
makes the game more entertaining. I completely agree.
The only thing I will say I do miss those really low scoring defensive matches where it becomes like, who is going to hit the shot?
Right.
Because it's going to come down.
That's what sets up like the Ray Allen buzzer beater.
Exactly. Games like that, it can be high scoring with that too. But
that's what sets up shots like that. You know what I'm saying?
Look at what Dame did in the playoffs this year. Some of those late games, it was just, bro, he can't hit this. And then he steps up, drains it.
And without
back to back. And then he goes again, and it's like, there's no way he's hitting this from half court. Just pulls it effortlessly, drains it.
But we're in agreement here that this was all ushered in by Curry, right?
100%.
Okay, because you're stupid if you don't.
The game was, and here, the Curry brought up upon the 3-point shooting being the
dominant,
the perennial
scoring,
thing.
yeah.
But we gotta also give credit to teams like the Heat and so forth, and who really gave positional play, and said let's be positional with it and have, because now you got prospects coming out who are 6'7", who's the one, Cade Cunningham from OK State, who can be 6'7" and play point, people like who we saw with Penny Hardaway and Magic Johnson, dudes who are just huge, being able to handle balls. I love that.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the only thing.
Don't edit that in there when I talk about handling balls.
We're gonna definitely do something with that. I think the only thing I miss about basketball is just the complete lack of the love for fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
That's the only thing I kind of miss. It's like we don't see the Tim Duncan anymore. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan is to me the greatest power forward of all time, because not only was he just a freak of nature when it came to basketball, but he was just so fundamentally sound. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He just loved the game through and through.
That's why those type of players are super rare, like Luka and them, and we appreciate them
Right.
more. But I love the way it's going. All right, so the final thing I was gonna talk about, should the NBA season have even occurred this year? Adam Silver's mismanagement, but I feel like it's been talked about how bad it's been during this COVID stuff. So to really cap it all off, the final question. This is for both of us. Finals predictions. Who do we think is going to end up and win the NBA Finals this year?
Who do I want to see, or who do I think?
Both. You can go do both, right?
Who do I want to see? I want to see Nets Suns. I would love to see. I would like to see the Nets win purely because New York needs a ring. It's been so long since the Nets and the Knicks have even been good. Knicks actually made it to the playoffs, which I got to give them.
Don't talk to me about the Knicks.
I'm sorry, I got to give them.
Sorry ass team got. Julius Randle played like.
Did play like. I don't know what she was doing, but they made it. We got to give them that.
No. That. Go hang a banner for it if you want to talk about making the playoffs.
They made it, bro. I'm sorry.
Come on, bro. That ain't the determination of success in the NBA.
It is for the Knicks. They're the Knicks.
Yeah, you know what? Because they're a bunch of losers.
Oh, man. Gil's pissed.
Losing ass.
Boston's pissed. But no, I'm going to say this. It's been so long since the North has got a ring. It's been so long since New York and Jersey has gotten a ring. But I want more than anything.
The Giants?
A ring in basketball. We're talking basketball. Where the we bring the Giants out? Loser. But I'm gonna say this. I would love nothing more to see CP3 with a big rock on his finger. I think everyone in the trenches wants to see Chris Paul win a ring. D-Book win a ring.
Oh yeah, what?
You know what I'm saying? But who do I think? I think now if I'm transitioning over to who do I think is gonna be like my accurate prediction. If I'm gonna give it, let's go with the obvious here. I'm going Jazz Nets. Jazz are the best team in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? They've got, I guess, the greatest defensive player of all time in their 5 spot. Yeah. They've got D-Wade with a 3 playing shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? You've got talent all over that team. But I also think it's legitimate to say that it could be the Suns and the Nets. There's other teams that can make it. I guess you could say the Clippers, the Nuggets, but I really think those 3 teams have the biggest chance of final success.
When it comes to my opinion, I'm right there with you. My finals, like the one I would actually love to see would actually be Hawks versus Suns.
Oh yeah, okay.
But there's just no shot the Hawks make it. Not this year. They're just not ready for that. John Collins is.
Trae Young is going fucking crazy.
Not ready for that. But what I think is actually going to happen is you're going to see the Hawks pretty much. They got one up on the Sixers. Embiid's injured. They're not going to finish that series beating Embiid. Right. But that's going to carry over to the next round because the Nets are going to easily dispose of the Bucks at this point. I mean, I don't know what happened, bro.
Giannis always something up. I love Giannis to death, but he's got to get a hold on his team in the playoffs, bro.
Has to. But I think the Nets easily sweep by everybody to the finals.
I don't think there's any chance they don't make it.
I think it's going to be conference finals, Suns versus Jazz. And I have the Suns going simply because of this. The best matchup that they have at this point, it's going to be Booker on Donovan Mitchell, and then it's going to be Ayton on Gobert. But here's the thing. The Suns have the complete edge. The better bench goes to the Jazz easily. But the Suns, however, have CP3.
Right. And
they don't got any. I'm sorry, bro. Clarkson and them, they can't account for what CP3 can do in the game, how he can facilitate, even when Gobert's going to have these
They ain't seen playoff Chris Paul yet. That's the thing is they ain't playing against playoff Chris Paul.
They haven't. We've seen playoff Chris Paul.
But we've seen it. But like we haven't had to go up on hardwood against dude.
I think legitimately this might be the best team Chris Paul, and this is even talking about considering.
Yes, bro.
As far as fit and everything, this is the best team.
No beef. Nobody trying to make it their team. Everything's understood, and Chris Paul is playing his role.
And when it's time, he's going to pass the torch to D-Book, and D-Book's going to have that team rolling for years. I think it's going to be 100%. I think it's going to be, Suns versus Nets. And I have the Nets taking it.
Give the D-Book the D.
The D-Book?
Give D-Book defense. There's no one stopping him.
That's going to be a great team for years to come. Ayton, he's him.
Definitely.
So to wrap it up, guys, let's take you through a couple of our tweets that we've had over the course of these playoffs, and I hope you guys enjoy this.
Similarities in three-point shooting. That's a man's jam. Te ama LeBron James.
Well, guys, we really hope you enjoyed this special edition of As the Ice Breaks for the NBA episode. Taking the Charge might come back next year. Guys, we also want to say we really want to thank you guys for finally getting us to 100 subscribers. We got a lot of things we're working on that are going to be coming out
Crazy.
really, really soon. I think you guys are going to be super, super interested in that. So, guys, just make sure to tap the like, tap the bell for notifications.
Yeah,
make sure you guys, if you aren't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Show us to your friends. And also, remember, if you want to come on and be a part of any one of our shows, we would love to have you guys on. Please make sure you guys send messages to me, comment down below. Let us know. We'd love for more interaction, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of us and helping this channel
one
grow.
thing. Look, right here, my music dropping soon. Stay tuned in with that. Like I said last time we was on the show, stay tuned in with that. Y'all about to flip the world upside down.
Young heart, got heart.
That's for sure.
But thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm Dobby.
And I'm Christian!
And this was As the Ice Breaks.